Aloha, we are Group 5. Jade, Dion, Nanga, Kylie, Melody, Jacqueline, and Jasmine. We have a few high school teachers and majority lower elementary teachers. Our lesson plan focus is on the economics concept of scarcity, geared for kindergarten. This lesson would be part of an economics unit where needs and wants have already been taught. Slide 2. Our objective for this lesson says I can describe how scarcity affects my choices.
The standards that we are going to be meeting in this lesson are from the kindergarten social studies standards. And the main one that we will be meeting is the standard here at the top that says, give examples of how scarcity affects your daily choices. And then a sort of secondary standard that we'll also be meeting is below, and it says, describe differences between needs and wants. To determine whether or not we have met this standard, the success criteria that the students will be meeting is that they will be able to write or draw a picture about scarcity and their choices. The way that we will know that we have reached this success criteria is by having the students create a journal page at the end of the lesson, and we'll talk more about that when we get to that part of the lesson.
To begin our lesson, we would start with our anticipatory set, showing students these two pictures and asking them, what do you notice? Students would share thoughts with a partner and then share thoughts with the whole class. Emphasizing the picture on the left has more toys, different toys, and the picture on the right only has a few toys, not very many toys. The teacher could also ask, what do you think happened to the toys on the right? And list students' responses. We would then move into our object lesson. As a group, we wanted to connect this to students' current interests. And at our school, pogs and gibbets are currently very popular. There would be a various amount of pogs and gibbets, but only enough for each student to have one. Students would make a choice, and they would have to choose which one they wanted. The teacher would then guide students to discuss with a partner or with the class what just happened. Were there enough for everyone to have both toys or just one? The teacher would explain not having enough is called scarcity. Scarcity means there isn't enough for everyone to have everything they want, and they will have to make a choice. The teacher would follow up and ask students, what are some things in our classroom that are scarce? Some answers we thought were toy blocks, scissors, and computer devices.
The teacher will introduce and read the story, Betty Bunny Wants Everything, written by Michael B. Kaplan, illustrated by Stephanie Jorish, to reinforce the economic concepts of wants, choice, and scarcity. Betty Bunny doesn't know why she can only buy one toy in the toy store when she wants them all. Her family tells Betty Bunny she can't have everything she wants and comes up with a lesson to teach her the value of money and spending limits. While reading the story Betty Bunny Wants Everything, students will identify all the wants that Betty Bunny has at the toy store. Students will learn and understand how scarcity affects their choices.
Read alouds are an age-appropriate method, especially in kindergarten, for teaching difficult concepts to young learners. As we read or listen to the story, the teacher would ask comprehension questions along the way about characters, setting, and plot. Following the story, teacher will facilitate a class discussion, asking guiding questions to lead the students to focus on and develop an understanding of the concept of scarcity as it is presented in the story. Here are some of the discussion questions that we would ask. Number one, what toys did Betty Bunny want? Number two, what problem did Betty Bunny have? Number three, why do you think her parents say that she couldn't have all the toys? Number four, what did her parents tell her? And number five, what do we call the problem when we can't have everything that we want?
Okay, then we want them to make the connections between the activity that we just did in class and the story of Betty Bunny. And we want them to make comparisons. So students were told they could pick only one toy. And just like what Betty Bunny's mother told her, but some students may have wanted both toys or more than one of the same toy, just like Betty Bunny wanted more than one toy. Then we could also ask the students, what did you notice that was different between our lesson and Betty Bunny's story? And they might say students were given two toys to choose from, whereas with Betty Bunny, she had plenty of toys to choose from. And then lastly, to wrap it up, we could ask the students to share their real life experiences of wanting something but couldn't have it for one reason or another.
In the economics dictionary, we chose the term opportunity cost for our term choice. The meaning that is stated in the economic dictionary is opportunity cost is the second best choice. The opportunity cost is the choice that is given up in order to undertake the best choice instead. The kid friendly meaning that we are using to help our kids understand opportunity cost or choice is not having enough for everyone to have everything they want or need. So we have to make a choice and find the next best option. The second term that we chose is scarcity. In the economics dictionary, it states that scarcity is the lack of sufficient resources to satisfy all wants. Scarcity necessitates economic decision making and means that there are opportunity costs implicit in everything we do because if we use a resource for one purpose, it means that there will necessarily be less for something else. The kid friendly term that we will use with our children to identify the meaning of scarcity would be not enough for everyone to have everything that they want or need. Tying back to our objective of this lesson, we are using a journal writing activity to help write up our lesson plan, to wrap up our lesson. This allows the students to reflect on what they have learned, expressing their thoughts and feelings, and allows them to practice their emerging writing skills. It gives them an opportunity to reinforce the concepts that were covered in the lesson while also fostering creativity and confidence in their ability to communicate through writing. So, for our wrap up assignment, we will have the students write about what they learned about scarcity using two sentences. They will then draw a picture to match their sentences. This will help us as teachers assess students' understanding of the lesson and provide insight into their individual progress and development. This will also encourage a love for writing and self expression from a young age, setting a strong foundation for future learning.
And that is our lesson, our kindergarten lesson about scarcity. Thank you.